Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie, if this is your first time here watching my videos. So today I'm going to talk about hair breakage and some of the things that have worked for me in preventing and cutting back on a lot of my breakage. So if you're interested in that, then just keep watching. Okay, so I want to start by saying that hair breakage can be a huge problem for a lot of like my kinky haired friends out there, just because with the texture of our hair, it can be difficult to manage, and it can easily like tangle up upon itself, creating lots of knots, creating lots of tangles, etc., which can lead to breakage just depending on, you know, how you style your hair. And I want to be clear that I think, at least in my personal opinion, and what has worked for me, is that the technique in which you style your hair and like the strategy behind like your styling and things like that make the biggest impact when it comes to decreasing hair breakage, as opposed to like focusing on different types of products and stuff. So with that said, in this video, I'm going to avoid like the more obvious things, you know, like making sure that you're having trims at a schedule that works best for you and your hair and all that good stuff. And, you know, watching a lot of these videos as well, people will say, which is very true, and another kind of like obvious tip, low manipulation type of styling as well as protective styling. So I'm gonna avoid those things and then just talk about some others, like I said, that have helped me along the way. And what really inspired this video is I recently straightened my hair for the first time in several years. I think it's been 6 or 7 years. And I was surprised. I was very surprised at how much my hair had grown. And I did do like a really big cut on my hair just before I got married in 2019. And since then, like it's gotten a lot longer. So I'll show pictures of in June of 2019 and then like where my hair is now. And they're not like direct comparison photos, because in one, like my hair is not stretched, not straight, and in the other it is, of course, but I'll do my best in including some photos. So yeah, and then also something that I've been doing over the past couple years, because I've been really trying to focus hard on creating like a more simple, sustainable type of hair regimen for myself, just because I got to a point where spending hours upon hours weekly on my hair is just not sustainable to me. It's not enjoyable to me. So I've been trying to figure out the best ways to care for my hair in a way that is not gonna burn me out, but also that, you know, like I said, creates a sustainable regimen for healthy hair, for growth, nice thick hair, etc. So I've been reading different types of books, watching a lot of different videos and all that good stuff, just to like educate myself as best as possible. And so some of these things are what has worked for me. So my first tip, that's the biggest one, is to wash your hair in braids. So with kinky hair, at least mine, like I have my notes right here. Every time I see someone washing their hair like this in the shower, like I cringe. And like while that works for some people, that's totally fine. Like I'm not here to poo-poo on other people's regimens and all that type of stuff. Like truly whatever works for you works for you. But if you find that like, you know, you're having trouble detangling your hair and after you wash it, it's just like a whole thing, I would absolutely recommend to not like free wash your hair with shampoo and all that type of stuff. Like every time I do that, my hair it's a tangled freaking mess, and I just cannot, it's really hard to manage. And also it's really easy to get tangled. It takes a long time to detangle after that. And then also that's leading to more manipulation and more breakage down the line. So I would not recommend that. And again, that's if you have trouble with detangling and stuff like that when you wash your hair. So I put my hair in like 4 braids or 6 braids. And it's a very quick process that I just kind of like split my hair down the middle, slap them in there. And I take a color applicator bottle. You know what, actually let me go get it, be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I take a color applicator bottle like this. These are my best friend. And I dilute my shampoo. So I mix like pretty much half and half, so where it's liquidy. And then like with the braids in my hair, I put it in my scalp. Like, well, you spray your hair down first or rinse it, and then I put, you know, the shampoo in here and I wash my hair like that. Like a lot of times I'll use like one of those like scalp massaging kind of brushes, or like I'll use my hands, etc. But like that's how I wash my hair. And then also you can just kind of squeeze it down if you have a lot of product build up and things like that. Like squeeze it down like the actual braids and wash it that way. But like that's how I would recommend washing your hair if you're struggling with breakage. And that's like my number one tip. One, it saves you shampoo because you're diluting it, and it saves you a lot of time. And then you can either rinse them out in the braids, but if you want to make sure that it's like rinsed out really well, then I like will take the braids down before I hop in the shower to like, I wash my hair outside of the shower. But if you're doing all this in the shower, then that's cool. You can just do it there. But like, I'll take the braids down after I wash it and then just like leave my hair as it is and, you know, rinse the shampoo out like that, just to make sure like everything is rinsed out really well. But that like really cuts down on all the, you know, tangling and all that type of stuff. And then you can, like, once you rinse it out, finger detangle and stuff like that. But I just prefer to do it after my condition session, because like the more and more you touch it, it's like you don't really need to detangle like 2 separate times, if that makes any sense. Like the more times you touch it, then the more chance you have to break, like for breakage in your hair. And like, that's not to say that you need to become obsessive about this. It's just like, you wanna be smart. One, it's gonna save you time, and two, like you don't have to detangle it more than one time, like in just one session, if that makes any sense. And so that also goes for deep conditioners and things like that. Cause like when your hair is wet, it's at its weakest point. So it's easier, even though for natural hair, it's better, you know, to work with your hair while it's wet. It is like, there's a caveat of like, your hair is more susceptible to damage, like when it's in its wet state. So once I rinse out my shampoo and my hair, I'll like throw it in some like quick chunky twists, like 4, 6, whatever. Throw it in there, and like I said, I don't worry too much about detangling. And then I'll take the deep conditioner, and I'll insert some footage, but I'll take the deep conditioner and then just kind of like slap it on like that. And I'll put it like kind of inside my, you know, plop some on here and things like that. But it makes it so much easier. And then kind of once you get it initially on, you can from there like do some finger detangling, take down each twist and do some finger detangling, etc. Like while your deep conditioner's in there, or detangle with the wide tooth comb, whatever it is that you choose to do. But it seems like extra steps, but like honestly, it makes things so much faster and so much easier, and you know, you just become really efficient at it. So that's like sub tip to the first one. This is another tip as well. Like, so when you're maintaining your hair through the week, if you have to rebraid or retwist your hair, I would recommend, like, cause I sleep with my hair most nights just in like 4 chunky braids. It takes me 5 minutes to do, like 5 to 10 minutes to do, no more time than that. And I'll braid my hair while it's like dry. And then when if I need to apply any product, like any product at the ends, or like if I need to like spray it, moisturize it, like I will do my braids first while my hair is dry, and again like at its strongest point, and then I'll spray or apply my product or whatever while my hair is in the braids, to cut down on the breakage. And like I said, these things may seem like either A, extra steps, or B, like they don't make a difference, but like your technique and how you care for your hair over weeks, months, years, like makes that difference. So one, it's easier for me because like when you're trying to detangle and like your finger detangling your hair every day, like the breakage really does add up when you're doing something, you know, habitually. So I just do my quick braids, apply my product to the ends, and like it works out really well and cuts down on the breakage. So that includes, like I said, creams. If you need to apply, like reapply a little bit of holding product or gel or whatever, like I just take a little bit and run it down the braid. I'm telling you, like, this sounds crazy, but it works. Now I want to talk about like tight styling and like hair accessories and things like that. So, and lots of videos mention this too, like you really do want to be leery of tight styles, but they do cause hair damage, or they can cause hair damage. Like anytime, like any braids that I put my hair in, like I said, like I sleep in 4 braids, but if there's at all any type of discomfort, I take it out and like I'll redo the braid, or like I'll loosen it up at my roots or whatever, because like that's how you can kind of get later on in your life, and then you start balding, like you start having hair falling out and you're damaging your follicles, and eventually like the hair won't grow back. So be really leery of like tight styles, especially around your edges and just anywhere. Like if you have any discomfort when you have a style in your hair, you need to redo it. And like having a tight style, you know, here and there is not going to kill you. But with that said, if it's something that you're doing a lot and you're feeling discomfort on your scalp, you're going to have breakage and you're going to have a risk of damaging your hair, especially down the line. So just be very leery of that. In addition, you want to be careful with things like bobby pins and like those cute little clips and stuff like that, because, and I read this in a black hair science book, which was really awesome, and I'll talk about that at the end. But if you are having, you know, tight bobby pins and things like that in your hair, the breakage can start up here. So like a lot of the times, you know, we discuss breakage kind of near the ends of the hair, which mechanical breakage, a lot of that is where that happens because the ends are the oldest and the driest and all that. If you're putting really tight bobby pins and things and braids or whatever, like your breakage can start all the way up here, which is like very much guaranteeing that you're going to struggle when it comes to like retaining your length and stuff like that. So it's something that you want to be aware of. And when I read that, I was like floored. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. So I've like decreased the amount, first of all, the tension, but just how often and things like that, that I'm like pulling my hair back tight and like, you know, little rubber bands and like bobby pins and, you know, stuff like that, and being very cognizant of how it feels, you know, in your hair. So just another tip. And something else that I do as well, and other people do talk about this, but like when I'm preparing my hair for bed, I focus and put like a heavier cream on my ends. So like I said, I sleep with my hair in 4 chunky braids for the most part. Just, it's very easy for me to like style, and I spend minimal amounts of time during the week. So it's something that's like very sustainable for me. But you know, once I get my hair in my style, I'll put like some heavy cream several times a week on my ends, and it really makes sure that like they're moisturized and all that good stuff. That's something to consider as well. You can do like an oil, some sort of cream, and I'll link a couple of my favorites down below. Like Melanin Hair Care's cream is really good for that. Camille Rose Naturals has a cream that's good for that. And so it just makes sure that the parts of your hair that are the driest get some extra type of attention. So, and it helps cut down on the breakage for that reason as well. And something else that I wanted to mention, I know lots of people talk about this, but just so you know, we're aware and we're all on the same page. Breakage, you'll be able to tell what the difference between breakage and a shed hair is like the shed hair has the bulb from the follicle on it. So if you pick up some hairs that have fallen out, you'll be able to see if it's a shed hair, which like I said, will have the bulb of the follicle on it. And then the breakage hair, the broken hair, usually they're shorter and they don't have a bulb on it. So you can tell like where it's broken off, you know, kind of on your hair shaft and stuff. And generally speaking, the shed hairs are longer, the breakage hairs are shorter. And for me, just due to the type of hair that I have, it's very kinky, very coarse. Keeping my hair stretched has helped a lot. So with single strand knots and things like that, and I was having a lot of my hair kind of turning upon itself, and I would have to cut lots of things out and all of that. So making sure that you trim your hair at a schedule that works best for you, but then also like keeping your hair stretched out is going to be really helpful if you have a hair type like similar to mine, because I love my wash and goes, like I really do. I think that they're so beautiful and so pretty, and I love my hair texture, but like while I'm trying to grow my hair out, it's just not as conducive to keep my hair in that state, because I'm going to have to end up cutting a bunch of stuff out, unfortunately, and my hair is not growing as much or retaining as much length like in the same amount of time as if I keep it more stretched. So yeah. I use lots of curl former sets, braid outs. I do like heat stretching with my blow dryer, and that like really helps. So yeah, and I'll insert some pictures of like kind of how long my hair is. I'm past brow strap length, like almost to waist length when my hair is, you know, straightened out. So yeah, I still have several more inches to go. Like I really want it to be in this state, you know, probably like about here. So I'll probably have like a foot more to go. But totally fine. I'm taking my time, learning different things about my hair, and a lot of these tips have really helped me out. So let me know if you liked it and if it helped, and I can do a part 2 if you want me to. Just in general, let me know your thoughts, and if you agree, if you disagree, if you have any other tips to share, and all that good stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.